weakness, rest in peace. I learned about the recipe when I was young and reckless. See, now I'm chasing the glory, gonna be fine. Working so hard, matter of time. Never give up, how we define. Taking my chances, breaking a climb. I'ma show them how it's done. On the top level we run. For Osiris, for my son. We show up and pack a punch. This is war. We step up, we gon' never fold. This is a legacy, they gon' know me when I go.
So rain down all you want, but our power is in the sun. And when our planets still align, our nation will become victorious. Where you stand and spit upon the ground. But when those horns sound off, pray to the Lord, you've been righteous now. I say rain down all you want, but our power is in the sun. And when our planets do align, our nation will become victorious.
This is war, we don't stop, what's in store, where we start, we deploy. They don't wanna see us win, so we gon' show them all the voice. To the top, we enjoy, when my partners don't avoid. Want the glory, silence noise, here for life, made a choice.
The smoke clears the air. I'm the only one standing. The darkness lifts. There lies the freedom in front of me. So I will start on this day. The rise of kingdoms to come. And we will no longer be named by the weather above. So rain down all you want, but our power is in the sun. And when our planets do align, our nation will become victorious.
Let it be, all that weakness, rest in peace. I learned about the recipe when I was young and reckless. See, now I'm chasing the glory, gonna be fine. Working so hard, matter of time. Never give up, how we define. Taking my chances, breaking a climb. I'ma show them how it's done. On the top level we run. For Osiris, for my son. We show up and pack a punch.
What is going on, Governors? Chiskel here with the esteemed Dragothian to cast yet another Ark of Osiris battle. And today, we're watching 254 versus 556. That's VC56 versus TR. Dragothian, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning, Chiskel. Good morning, community. Hope you all are having a fantastic day, ending your weekend, and at least starting the last day off right with us. I mean, that's where I would want to be.
Hey.
But that being said, I hope it didn't mess up if you have a daylight savings time country that you're living in, I hope it didn't mess your day up too bad like it did mine, where
True.
we almost missed each other. But looking forward to seeing this matchup here, VC56 versus TR. You know, I'm looking at the left side of this bracket, Chiskel, and maybe you can give me some insight on what you're thinking too. But we have four pretty strong teams. We have VC56 and TR, which we're going to be watching today. But then we also have Song and 1021, both teams making a hard push last season. And 1021 and Song improving over the offseason into this season. So, you know, we're seeing on the right side of the bracket, JST and 1V advancing to the semifinals. Who's going to win that matchup? Both teams are prior Osiris League champions. VC56 on the left side against TR. VC56 taking out a 2-time champion OV last week in the round of 16 to get to the quarterfinals to fight TR. Who do you think has got the best chance out of these 4 matchups here? Well, the four teams that are left on the left side of this bracket for Realm of Horus to take on a JST or 1V?
It's been a hell of a season, and we do have some really good Ark matches ahead of us. So you're right to call this out. I think to take out, these teams like JST and 1V, one of them is going to emerge. This matchup, by the way, is going to be amazing to watch. You haven't already subscribed, you're going to want to do that so you don't miss out on these amazing Ark of Osiris League matches. But personally, I'm obviously a little biased when I shout out my home team here from 254, that's TR. But also, I think to underestimate 1021, that's Blackjack, would be a huge mistake.
Agreed.
Now, I don't know who's going to win in the Song Blackjack matchup here, so that's also going to be a really exciting one, and that's taking place at the same time as the matchup we'll be watching, which is the VC56 TR, the 556 love story continued here. There's just no escaping it, man.
Yeah.
These 2 kingdoms have been battling for a year in KVKs, and then here they are battling for the semifinals, which, by the way, is the coveted rank to hit if you want the city theme. So this is going to be really, really tense for players on both of these teams.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I noticed how you didn't, go all in on my question. So I'll make a prediction for myself. I do think we're watching the matchup right now that we should be, even though both matches on the left side of this bracket are happening at the same time, and both will be very strong. I think we're going to see the winner of this matchup here going on to face the whoever wins on the right side of the bracket in the finals. Whoever wins this match here. I think VC56 has proven themselves, having taken out OV and others too. It's not just OV. They've taken out other big boys inside of this season to really show themselves to be a top tier cream of the crop team. We're talking about HOM. That's a solid one. OV beat them last time by only 600 points, and then having improved enough to beat OV by 1,400 points last week. I think that there's a solid play here for VC56 to meet whoever wins JST and 1V in the final. I think VC56 will represent the left side of this bracket in the finals. That's my prediction. That's my prediction.
Hot take. It's good, though, that you represent the one side of the spectrum and I represent the other.
That's true.
It's going to be a hype matchup today.
This is a objective cast. I'm going to keep Chisco as honest as possible and for y'all's benefit. But we're looking for a very solid match here. I'm really looking forward to seeing this thing pop off. And I haven't gotten the chance to see VC56 in their newest iteration. So I'm looking forward to seeing the changes that obviously have happened, because they've never made it this far. As far as I'm aware, I don't remember them making it anywhere close to this far. So they've definitely made improvements, and they've focused on Osiris League and Ark of Osiris system to get to where they're at.
Yeah, the matchup's starting any second, which is why I just keep kind of backing out and back in to make sure I don't miss the very, very start of the match here. So let's see. There it is. Let's jump right into the matchup here. The Victorious Cats versus Therapy Required. That's VC56 versus TR.
Huh?
Names changing all the time for TR. Hard to keep up. Here we go. Let's enter the match here. Boom. On the screen, the highlights. VC56 in blue. TR in red. Starting with 556. Names that you recognize. Baba Tisiata Turk. Fa. Baba Tisiata Sun. And a whole bunch of people you've almost certainly seen in my streams for KVK battling. In red, TR. You've got Bunny, Redline, Easy Company, and a whole bunch of folks that you've seen on stream there as well. The key combatants. I'll shout out Baba with the kill score of 189,000. Key combatants in blue. For red, Looking at Valkyrie with 2 of those titles. OG SQD, that's Redline, with 187,000. Score in Ark of Osiris, right on Baba's tail. In the road to the championship, this is what Drago was talking about earlier when we were looking at the bracket. Both teams today have battled some really impressive teams to get to where they are. And now they fight each other, Drago, for the city theme. The 3% training speed city theme. I mean, it doesn't seem like much when you say 3%, but hey, in this game, you get percentage points wherever you can, am I right?
That's very, very right. I mean, you do what you can. Do what you can.
Man, okay. We'll watch the start of this matchup. Do you think we're going to see any funny business here at the start of the match, Drago?
Well, I know we've watched TR in the previous weeks inside of this Osiris League season. Again, I haven't gotten the chance to really see VC56, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they've been doing to be so successful in recent history here. Because again, I will say, maybe a small iteration of 56 may have made some kind of some waves in previous seasons, but this iteration VC56 has never made it this far inside of the finals system. So maybe grand finals they did some things as well, but again, not an Osiris League system. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they are doing. TR always has a chance to pull some funny business, to do some kind of trickery or chicanery, but we'll have to wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see. Here goes the start of the matchup. Speedy Cavs making their way through here. You can see from the Moose helmet, that's the double C with Honda Tadakatsu. The fastest march you can get to go and capture something right at the start of the matchup. Here's another double C march on its way over there. Looks like that's not the signature Moose helmet on its way over there. And if we flip our way back down to the opposing side of the map here, we get a look at the TR side. Bunny right out in front, followed by others, and of course those speedy cab marches already way downfield, making their way toward the obelisks here. Drago, typically teams cancel the obelisk rallies at the start. What do you think about actually running the obelisk rally? This is something that we see teams sometimes do. I mean, in a matchup with as high stakes as this one, do you play it safe, or do you go for something fancy? There's hard push, by the way, for both teams.
Exactly. So, I mean, at this level of the game, I mean, there would have to be a massive ball drop to have a situation where you're going to not have your obelisk protected by the time any rally from your opponent will arrive. In my opinion, I've never seen it in this level of gameplay. Now, regular Ark of Osiris, if you're playing a team that's just not put together and you're really well coordinated, you might have the opportunity to snag that outpost or that obelisk from them directly if they only ran T1 there and didn't rally it, or if they sent a rally but it was infantry based and you used hard push and they didn't. Like, those are all things that can certainly happen in regular Ark of Osiris play, but we're talking semifinals action coming up next week in the Osiris League system for season 6. These teams have ironed this plan out for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. So I don't ever see them being able to really take it. So I think the desert altars for both sides really are the name of the game. They're so crucial. Those points at the beginning do set the tone for what the match can turn into as we go into the first Ark of Osiris spawn in the middle at the temple. I think honestly that's just the play. You want to have as many troops towards those opponent desert altars as you possibly can.
Yeah, as I look to all four sort of corners by the edge of the temple area here, you can really see that what teams classically call sort of the weak side versus the strong side, that there's a bit of an extra walk that has to be made to get to this desert altar. And it's going to be interesting to see which teams get there first. Really speedy march right here from Top Gun Says Hello. Going to this desert altar. Rallies are on their way here. This is a good way to convey troops quickly. This is the obelisk rally that they'll maybe cancel, maybe let run. Cav rally on the opposing side as well. Teddy from Q7 running around here as well with his T1s. That's his obelisk march that he used to capture that at the start. And we can see both sides now starting to tussle by their desert altars. So the real thing you're trying to do at this point is to get the first occupation boost. 750 points, if you can swing it. Now, it's hard to take the enemy's desert altar, but this is what both teams are trying to do right now.
That's exactly right. And, just looking at both desert altars myself, I feel like VC56 has a little bit better positioning advantage on the top lane desert altar than does TR. TR arriving a little bit later to the party on the bottom lane. 1 minute until these buildings unlock. That's a lot of time for all of these marches to wipe each other out one way or another, whichever way it goes. And then obviously the benefit of the owner of the closer desert altar to the obelisks is obviously they're going to be able to reinforce that fight more quickly and ultimately capture it. The question is, can one of them capture it and hold it for that 2-minute timer to get those first occupation points? TR actually giving a obelisk rally at the top left a run for its money, and it's doing okay. Not great, but it's doing okay. Now it's starting to go down. It's getting swarmed by the people that are hoarding into that obelisk.
It's honestly pretty easy to catch someone out of position on that obelisk, and teams of this caliber are sort of ready. They got at least a captain nearby to then stuff this thing and stabilize the situation. So that Butter rally, Cav specialist here, running that rally. Good defense with the Jad in the garrison here, and it looks like that's a Jad YSS. I mean, just a very strong garrison
All right,
here.
buildings opening, Chisco. Here we go. Everything red.
Woo.
Wow.
Okay. 3 altars at the start, but the thing is, you got to keep them. So let's see how that goes.
Yeah, this bottom lane
man.
desert altar is looking a little suspect for TR. They did capture it first, which is definitely good, but they have an Ethelfled garrison, which is definitely not good. And there's a lot of blue around here too. Red moving forward saying, you know what, take it. We're going to take it back. Or maybe we'll just hold it and we don't even have to worry about it. Look at that's confidence right there from TR.
Yeah, VC56 taking their northern desert altar back and really cleaning up the field entirely. So I think that area is stabilized. It was a cool move, but didn't play out probably the way that 254 drew that up, given that there's so much blue presence here and 254 is completely wiped. And look at all this. I have mixed feelings about moves like this. So TR took the Shrine of Life, and the upside here is I actually think they're getting the first capture points. So that's 400 first capture points for the Shrine of Life. So, I mean, maybe that's intentional. Maybe it's not. But all those marches, if they'd been at the altar, I mean, they might have had the altar, right?
Yeah.
So instead, they lock up the 400 points instead of going for potentially the 750. I mean, that's either smart gameplay or, I don't know, maybe a missed opportunity. What do you think between those two?
I think it's a combination of both. Maybe sensing that they were outweighed at the desert altar, moving to the Shrine of Life, and 30 seconds until this captures for those first 400 occupation points. Taking something is definitely better than nothing. And if VC56 did not have that same thing happen, which it's looking like they don't, 40 seconds. Well, I don't know. That Shrine of Life's looking pretty rough and totally blue right now as well. Ooh, obelisk being taken top lane by TR.
A lot of things switching here.
Wow.
The obelisk is really important. If this
important.
doesn't get captured back, oh my God, Xeno Captain. Xeno Captain.
There's plenty of people there too.
45 seconds to sort this out. The Shrine of Life crew getting rowdy at the obelisk. Capture it. Now Xeno holding it.
It's going to go down.
30 seconds. I think this will flip back to blue. But it is really dangerous to have a team porting to your obelisk. And even just getting the teleports is a big deal. But flipping back to blue, VC56 getting control. And now, that Shrine of Life down here, I don't know if first capture points ever flipped. There we go. Flipping back to red.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe off the rip here, a little bit of favor to TR in terms of
Look at the middle
initial capture. But let's go to middle. 4 minutes. And we see that 556 is already knocking at the temple door here. So they got a lot of marches to middle. TR not here yet. So TR kind of runs the risk of getting bullied out of the temple area. but it'll be interesting to see if this is a play for the Ark that they're making or something else, right? Maybe they're going for the Ark. I assume they're going for the Ark. They got a lot of bodies. I mean, yeah, they might just be a little bit late here.
And this Shrine of Life on the top lane for TR that's supposed to be VC56 is causing quite a headache for the blue team, VC56. They still don't have it. There's another reinforcing march coming as well from Shauna of TR. Now it's half full, over half full again. They're going to have to swarm this down again. It has not gone away from TR since it was initially captured. So they've not only gotten the 400 extra points for the first occupation, but they've also got the 80 points per minute as well. And I would say they've gotten a good solid 3 minutes of it. So we're talking almost a first occupation score for the Desert Altar. So, I mean, they actually ended up taking it even though there wasn't one to be taken.
You know, the funny thing is that TR actually needs this Shrine of Life.
Yeah.
They actually zero themselves in KVK so many times in a row that if you saw at the start there, I mean, one of their players is 78 million power. That's like kind of an atrociously low amount of power to be at this caliber of Osiris gameplay, right? Like, they're going to have to do a lot of healing, so the bonus healing speed here is actually going to save them a lot of speed ups.
I agree. I'll also say, pointing at, and I was trying to figure out why I saw that at the very beginning, and what I'm talking about is I saw one of the farming marches originally coming out from Pooh, from TR. He had a Sundiak primary on his march, farming march, which is fine, but it was mixed troops. It wasn't all siege, and it was T4 siege, T4 infantry, T4 archers. Like, it was a mixed farming march. That should tell you the issue with TR right now that could possibly arise is they're starting out without even needing to heal missing troops that they need. Obviously, you would want to have a full march of siege units there to go ahead and be farming as effectively as possible inside of this, and they couldn't even pull together a full siege march.
Yeah, I mean, we deleted all our siege for a migration, so yeah, everybody deleted their siege.
Well,
it turns out there's use for those for Ark of Osiris, but I think that I can represent 254's perspective on this one a little bit, which is that it's a KVK kingdom, not an Osiris kingdom. So we happen to have a team that's gone really far into Osiris League, but Osiris League was not the priority.
I want to point out 0 rallies going on right now. 0 rallies from either side. It looks like they're going all in on this mid fight. No structure game to be spoken of.
That's a good read. I mean, no rallies kind of tells you everybody's actually playing for this arc.
That's pretty impressive.
A little bit of aggression here. Okay.
Here we go.
And
already popping off.
Yeah, we're starting.
Left. Yep.
There's Mystical for 556. Mystical for 254. War Drums for 556. War Drums 254. So both teams, the standard complement of buffs. Let's see how this goes. 3 sad faces for blue. 4 sad faces for blue. A sad face for red. 2 more for blue. 1 for red. Counting the sad faces, Drago. I need like a little ticker on the side that's counting it up for both sides here.
It's looking more favorable to TR.
A little double C action here off to the side. That's got to be the carrier.
Yeah, he's wanting
carrier
to get below 50%.
Probably trying to get below 50%, get those charge talents activated, but then
pull back,
not lose the march so they can pick up an Ark here. Although Ark is down and they're actually nowhere near the Ark to pick it up. There it is. Avid from Q7 getting the Ark, but then losing it very promptly.
Needs to come over. There he goes. Needs to come over.
Zipping around. Yeah, they may have an opportunity yet here to go get this Ark. Hard to say. I mean, they're going to take so much AoE damage here. I will say the important thing about that grab that Avid just did is that they moved the Ark to the appropriate side of the temple for 254. So they didn't move it downfield ever so slightly just by virtue of picking it up. But I think that at this point, whoever's getting this Ark is going to have to clear out the field first.
I'm surprised with how much, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm surprised with how much is left of blue, with how many sad faces I'm seeing in the middle, still on the rally ticker, 0 for both sides. So they're still pulling back to the middle. But I'm starting to see this be more blue than red, but still, there's still a lot of red here and still a lot of blue getting sent back home. Okay, now a lot of them are getting sent back home. See a lot of blue sad faces pouring out from that middle.
Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of arc that even if red gets this here, it's not safe. Right? Like, we've seen many weeks in a row, teams take advantage of the fact that they get home fast when they get reset from the arc to then capture the arc and run it back. So, although red has the arc here, Jeed's on the carry, I think this is anything but safe. What I would expect to see if this arc will get contested, and look, how long is this walk? We've got 2 minutes of walk time here. So if 556 has already used this time that they were getting sad-faced to position on the corners here, they could still contest this arc. Like, this is not done. So it is really important that this carrier continues on without getting knocked down and having the sort of timer delayed for when they get back.
Mm-hmm.
And it does actually... Okay, there it is. There it is. This is what I was looking for. Right? The sharks are in the water here. The question is whether or not they can really latch onto the arc and have an opportunity to score at the desert altar. So we'll see what they're able to do. The arc moving, I think, on a fine route. I mean, you kind of want to run it as far away from this desert altar as possible, but also not go to the outpost. You know what I mean?
Yes. I've seen that many times. I don't know. I think TR's kind of has this secured. TR didn't just willy-nilly walk it off by itself like we've seen them do in the past and other teams do in the past. Not only is it being escorted and protected on the same line as the arc carrier, but also nice buffer from TR on the left side right by their desert altar to buffer this push coming in from VC56 in the bottom lane. Speaking of, though, we have 3 rallies now on both sides. So the structure game has restarted. Rally coming in from VC56 Phantom with a Henry rally at this desert altar. I think that's going to be the main fight going forward. Jeeds pretty much has this.
Yeah, and you can see this move is actually important to note.
Yeah.
That little zig right there. And it's in part because he's going to the caravan, I think, to drop it for a full march or maybe to gather.
Yep, there it is.
Yeah, you can see Avid from Q Savant here. Mm-hmm. Chilling by the node here. So they're going to put a full double C to run the carry, which I think makes sense. And I really like this angle here, where they're going away from the desert altar and kind of creating space for where 556 would have to walk. I think that's a really good route. And, there's not too much to, what route do you run, but I think that's a good play there.
That was a very proper escort by TR. I think that's probably one of the best escorts I've seen them do this entire season.
Yeah.
And then on top of all that, there's only really one structure right in this map besides caravans that can't be flipped, and that's a city. So that's exactly where they're going right now. Avid is going to their cities. I would go as far away from that obelisk as humanly possible just to be completely 100% safe. But, get towards the back where the other cities are at, or just stay by Moonbitter there and just kind of camp out. That's fine too. Desert Altar, though, on the bottom lane for TR is under heavy duress. We have the rally still up. VC56 still pushing, although TR's doing a great job of reinforcing, but it might not be enough as more reinforcements coming in from the bottom lane there. That Shrine of Life on the bottom lane, you talked about it, just taken by VC56. They need that healing speed.
They do.
That we're talking about.
They do.
And now
the healing is actually really, really bad. Like, it is so disruptive to want to send your march, and then it's like, wait, hold on. I got to spend 20 seconds to heal and speed it up and get the march going again.
No, I wonder if you do a kingdom buff.
It's a real time penalty.
You do a kingdom buff? Like,
to have to heal.
Can you even do that? I was just thinking about that.
Does kingdom healing speed apply when you're in Ark? I don't think it does.
Yeah.
That's an interesting idea, but I don't think that actually works.
Is there any offensive kingdom skills that I'm aware of that are generic? Like, obviously you have the leadership skill where you can target it on the field to kingdom buff for attack and defense, but I don't think there's a generic one.
There's only alliance skills, and those are really important.
Yeah, and those do function.
The standard play here is to go with the march speed.
I wonder if it does.
If that works, it does work.
Yeah. No, I'm saying the healing.
Oh. Healing speed? I've never tested it, so I couldn't say authoritatively.
Interesting. Speaking of interesting, though, 4 altars are now blue, by the way, Chisco, as we've been pondering the mechanics of Ark of Osiris.
That's what you want to do if you're blue right now. Just punish on altars, man.
Yeah.
And even if you don't hold it, which they are for one of them, but even if you don't hold it, just disrupting the point flow is pretty crucial here. I mean, they got an arc worth of points to make up, and they're well on their way to getting that started. 4 halters is a good start, although 30 seconds until this caps. I mean, it's mid-yellow. This Desert Altar is still pretty healthy, I think, for 556.
It's getting plenty of reinforcements, too.
As long as they got these reinforcements coming, which they do, right? They're going to be able to do this. Here comes the rally. Raven. Rally leader there. I know Raven is an archer rally lead, and it looks like they've also got the calves to do the job, but that thing is just getting swarmed out. That couldn't have been full.
Like it wasn't even
on its way in there. Sheesh.
That was quick.
That was real quick. Send another rally, I suppose.
Shrine of Life.
So this is a really good hold by 556. There's
good.
Just no denying that this is a very quality capture on the Desert Altar.
The Shrine of Life might be a little bit suspect too. I'm not sure how survivable these marches are that are swarming it are, but it looks like it could go back in favor of VC56, which would be another point disruption, considering it still hasn't captured from the last time that they've gotten it. It's going to be close. I'll have to keep an eye on that one and see how it goes. But like you said, that Desert Altar still in favor of VC56. Lots of players still streaming in from the obelisk area on the bottom lane of VC56. This is going to be something that's going to maybe haunt TR as they hold this arc right now. They're likely trying to make this a 2-arc game, do you think? I mean, it's a 37 minutes left on this match. There's plenty of time for 3. Do you think they're going to capture it soon, or do you think they're going to wait for another 8 minutes or so?
I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say that the first arc was decisive. I mean, it was really still pretty close, even though, TR emerged victorious with that arc. I thought it was a very close battle. Mm-hmm. So I feel like subsequent arcs could still go either way. So it's hard to say if they go for more arcs or not. I mean, if you had a really, I think, slam dunk win in the middle, you'd say, yeah, let's go for more arcs, man. That really worked. But I think it's reasonable to consider going for a 2-arc game, given how that first arc went.
Makes sense to me. Some very masterful play from Pak and Buddha down here at the Shrine of Life on the bottom lane, holding that Shrine of Life by the skin of their teeth, not disrupting the points being generated for them. Also taking the Sky Altar on the bottom lane of VC56 is TR, and looking to try and hold that as much as possible. Lots of blue team around that, though. Looks like it may go back down in favor of blue team, but again, like we've been saying, point disruption is nearly as good as holding. And
super real. I mean, look at exactly 4 marches.
What they want to do. Yep.
Lazy Abo from Q7, just cruising through the back here. Yoinking the outpost.
Arc captured, by the way.
So the arc's in. That's 8 minutes till we get another one.
Yeah, there could definitely be 3.
This is pretty exciting. But, I mean, you got to hand it to 556. Look at this point disruption here, man. Really solid. They get the Shrine of War. Sure, they lost it, but taking it at all means that the points are getting halted. Ooh, wow. Altar's just flipping hands left and right here. TR getting control of the Desert Altar. And I think we've seen it, like every altar flip in the last, minute or so, except this one. Hasn't this? Oh, nope. Just kidding. Now it flipped. So every altar has flipped in the last, 60 seconds.
360 points per minute, by the way, for TR versus 230 for VC56. So points per minute game has flipped in favor of TR, was very favorable to the blue team of VC56 for quite some time. TR flipping the script, though. Lots of red buildings on the map right now. 2 Shrine of Wars for VC56, which is nice for the buffs, but from a point standpoint, TR doing a great job of not only disrupting the points per minute, but trying to look to hold this Desert Altar on the top lane that's supposed to be for VC56 with the Zenobia Theodora garrison.
Man, look at that.
Let's talk about garrisons, Chisco. I think that we've seen a lot of Yan, a lot more Yan than I probably thought we would see. Still lots of Jadwigas, but I'm seeing a lot more Yan inside of these matches as we continue in towards the semifinals and ultimately the finals. Do you think that's the right play, or do you think we need to continue to keep the Jadwiga Xeno script on the board?
I think it depends on what your enemy's doing. I think, and I suppose it depends on how well your team is prepared to fill full calves.
Sure.
But if they're launching Archer rallies, I found that the Yan is actually really powerful. And Jad YSS can get really wrecked by like a proper archer rally, which is weird to say because it's like, wait a minute, cavalry, shouldn't they be winning? But the rock, paper, scissors of this game is certainly not offset by the raw power level of certain commanders. So I think a Henry Boudica rally is actually really strong.
100%. Not just here, but in KVK as well. I mean, it's so devastating.
Yeah. So I think the Yan is better. The Jad Yan combo is better. But the reality is that most teams have mixed troops nearby, which is why the YSS has always been the pick.
So whoever has the YSS.
Yeah.
I mean, I am seeing Yan YSS. So, I mean, that's best of both worlds as far as I'm concerned, the way you're describing it.
That's
right?
true. I don't know. I mean, that's an interesting point, but for some reason I feel like the Jad is more survivable. Am I making that up? I'd have to look at their
from
kit
a swarm
and see.
standpoint, maybe, but
I think they reduce their skill damage taken pretty substantially, which ends up making them nice and tanky.
I will say I'm seeing on the VC56 side, Yan YSS across the board. Also seeing the spider web of marches coming into the middle from both sides too. We're seeing the spider legs of all those marches filtering into the middle. We have 4.5 minutes until this arc spawns. VC56 already around the Temple of Osiris, by the way. And again, TR positioning south, just collecting their troops, positioning their chess pieces. And
yeah, I mean, this is what we saw last time, right?
Yep,
where
exactly.
556 got there first, but then TR still won. So it's going to be interesting to see how 556 positions for this next arc. They're chilling by the temple, nudging up a little bit here, in front of the temple now. Just in front of the temple, just behind the temple, I don't think is too noteworthy. I think if they were really pushing up into this position down here, where TR is, it would be more noteworthy. But especially because there's still like 3 minutes, 45 seconds till the arc spawns in. I think there's a lot of opportunity here to get into position, even if you aren't at the start of the arc fight. Teddy from Q Savant here, just chilling off to the side, getting a look at the stonework on the side of the canyon here.
I haven't seen VC56 really generally harass these outposts of TR, while conversely, constant pressure from TR on the VC56 outposts. I know that can be a little bit challenging to deal with while also trying to simultaneously hold all your structures and come to the middle at the right time. But I think TR doing a little bit better job of that outpost harassment, which again can be very, very painful to deal with. And when you have all those three flipping, not generating points, that's 90 points a minute. That's bigger than a shrine, if you think about it. So very, very astute to still harass those outposts by TR. Now VC56 again piling in very strong behind the Temple of Osiris. It's basically going to be a mirror matchup here to the first arc. Let me ask you this, Jessica, because again, we've seen some of these really high level teams and their strategies. I feel like these two teams have really focused on the arc, very similar to old school HKL, old school OV. Not really utilizing some of the playbook pages from, say, some of the more recent champions like 1V, or even some of the non-champions that made it to finals and semifinals matches, where they really focused on structure game more than mid fights, and maybe just trying to win one mid fight to get one of those arc points, but then really focusing hard on the structure game to generate their points. Both teams looking very strong towards the middle every single time. Is this a shift back to the old days, or do you think that they're just playing each other the way that they think they should be played?
We spectated 254 last week, and they went for buildings, and I feel like it didn't go very well. So
True.
I think 254 is just going back to basics on this one and saying, all right, we tried it. We see that could be a strategy that works well. There's to the death, by the way. But I think going back to the tried and true strat. Now, this is interesting. 556 to the death. 254 Heaven's Grace. Personally, I'd rather be on the to the death side of things. So this is going to be really interesting to see who wins this arc. I feel like the skill combination here favors 556. So let's see how the brawl unfolds. Unclear who's winning yet. I don't see a lot of sad faces. Do you?
I see a ton of sad faces. Maybe it's not. Yeah, it's not showing up on your screen. It's showing up on mine. VC56 losing a lot more troops than TR. A lot more.
I have the anti-sad face filter running, apparently.
Yeah, but there's a ton of blue marches going back for VC56, and maybe a third of that for TR. So that Heaven's Grace holding strong. And again, to win the middle fight, you don't necessarily need to over damage your target. You just need to out survive it. I don't know. TR looks like they should be winning this right now, and VC56 losing a lot of marches. Still tons of blue inside the middle fight here, Chisco, but TR definitely looking like they're winning the actual battle itself. Not seeing really much leaving the middle from the red team at all.
It's really hard to say who's winning this.
Everything's going blue. I mean, just look at it. Just chunks of blue cutting out. I mean, this is definitely a TR victory in the middle here. 100%. 100%.
Nobody's grabbed the Ark yet. Carrier's now at position. Ark's going to get picked up. Pooh has the Ark.
With the belly.
And they're on their way out. Okay. Yeah, that's a wrap on the mid fight.
Yeah, TR absolutely destroying VC56 in the middle. I don't know if I've ever seen it that, well, not ever, but I don't think I've seen in recent memory that quick of a mid-fight victory other than from, say, a 1v type of alliance. TR definitely putting their foot down in the middle there. And it was such a quick win. I don't think that VC56 is going to have the time to even counterpunch. They grabbed the Ark, they cleared the middle, and they're already around the bend here.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fast carrier. Sometimes you end up with a non-carrier, right, running the Ark, and that just is what it is. But this is an actual Ark carrying march. That Belisarius primary, baby. This is how you know, right? That is a march designed to move that Ark quickly. So that thing is cruising. Somebody stepped into that node there, already even caravanning on their way back. So this Ark is going, and I'm just looking around. I'm like, is this safe? Is this belly safe? There's no protection really on this Ark. So if it's not safe, it's gonna have problems.
I mean, you have one march coming from the middle from Zazie and VC56, and that's about it.
If there was a backfield march here that had been cleaning outposts, and they just go for this carrier, it'd be pretty disruptive.
That's why.
But it looks like Pooh is now going a route that makes me feel a little more safe for 254, anyways. Yeah, I mean,
really?
It doesn't seem like much, but going around this side really opened up a lot of distance from where help would be. So I think this is a slightly safer route. They run that back, and I'm looking on the carrier because this is what you expect to see descending on the carrier, right? And here it is. So 556 is basically, to me, saying, all right, remember when we took your altar for like 6 or 7 minutes? We're going to do that again. That's what this feels like to me over here.
They're trying to cut through the reinforcements from TR to get to the Ark carrier. I just don't know if it's going to be enough.
No, I don't think they can get there.
Yeah.
I mean, that carrier is just moving too fast.
Yeah.
If there had been somebody to knock down the carrier once or twice, they could have got there. Yeah, see, this other guy's coming from the other side even. They could have potentially got there, but this Ark is pretty safe. And, the place to hold the Ark is by one of these cities. I feel like ideally you put it right under Vickers City here. It's really far from where the enemy is and where their buildings are, right? Like that's where you want to hold the Ark. Not next to the stinking obelisk. I swear, I lose my mind when people do this.
Well, speaking of obelisk, the TR crew has taken the top obelisk away from VC56. It's got 1 minute 15 seconds until it flips to blue.
Looks like it's one march.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it is just one march. Yep.
Oh, if that had been a rally, though.
I was wondering.
Yeah. Rally with a captain would have been particularly brutal there.
I was wondering. All right,
so
Pooh's sitting pretty over by the cities. You have Jadwiga sitting hold firm on the desert altar. More VC56 coming in. I don't know. This is the VC56 I'm familiar with in previous seasons. I'm not really seeing anything super special out of VC56 that's leading me to believe that they're going to win this match and take it away from TR, because right now there's an Ark's worth of points between their point totals right now already, and they already have another 3,500 in their pocket. So we're looking at 6,500 delta for TR in the lead. I'm just not seeing that special thing that I was wondering if I would be able to see this match that's gotten them to the quarterfinals to begin with. I'm looking like TR is possibly just going to run off with this thing, taking all the arcs and kind of staying even with VC56 on the structure game. As soon as I say that, Shrine of Life on the bottom lane going towards the blue team. But again, I mean, it's just a little bit back and forth, but it's literally a 3,100 point game in favor of TR. That's exactly the first arc worth of points that they got the first time. And yeah, I mean, that means that they have to have an even structure game points wise, right?
Yeah, I kind of wonder if from this position, let's see here, timing wise, Ark is neutral, so that's interesting. Somebody did knock down the Ark, but they didn't pick it up, so they didn't reset the Ark timer. But for those that are newer to this format, the moment that TR picked this up, a 15-minute timer started, and if the opposing team, 556, had taken the Ark in this instance, it would have reset the timer to 15 minutes again. So that sort of keeps things honest for how long you can actually hold it. So there is technically still room for another Arc in this matchup, but it would be pretty
100%.
tough to actually, like, if they wait the full 10 minutes to score, then there's, 8 minutes, 15 seconds to spawn it in. Like, there's technically time for another Arc, even if you try to max hold here.
Yeah, I mean, but again, is that going to be enough? I mean, 4,000 points versus 6,500 points. We all know the math there. TR wins. So if TR continues to do their structure game the way that they've been doing it the whole match, and VC56 doesn't change something immediately with 22 minutes left in this matchup, even if they win a third arc, it's not going to be enough. They're going to need to really focus the structure game for the next 10 minutes and come out significantly positive from the delta on the points per minute. And right now they're up 160 points per minute is VC56. So that's a good start. Obviously with it being, holding the Shrine of Life here on the bottom lane. And I believe there's another building for TR that's still counting down to start generating points as well. It might be one of these obelisks or something. I don't know. But anyway, VC56 is currently in the driver's seat with the points per minute lead of 160 points per minute. TR needs to hold. I think TR needs to hold as long as possible. They don't need a third arc necessarily, although they're, obviously winning, and good point made by the community in chat, Chisco. They still have to the death. So, I mean, they have all the cards in their pocket. I think that they just need to play them right. They just don't throw it away. They will win this match.
I mean, so is to the death actually the better ability, though, Drago?
I think it is.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you think that in this case, VC56 did use the more premium ability in the mid-fight?
They did. They just, I don't know if it's a player issue or just targeting issue or something, but I mean, just two decisive victories by TR. And even the second one was more decisive than the first. I mean, it's...
Yeah. There's a
incredible
lot
to
of variables at play for a mid-fight, right?
It's not just the skills.
Yeah. So there's the skills that are used. There's the marches that players are using. There's the number of marches that made it to middle. To some extent, there's VIP level that's relevant. There's equipment. There's a lot that goes into the sort of quality of a team's mid-fight. Not to mention the positioning as well, by the way, which, some teams, as I understand it, call out specific targets.
Mm-hmm.
Other teams have a priority order. Like there's a lot that goes into...
Well, it's a quadrant, right?
Mid-fight.
So the way that I've seen it best organized is you have your ball fight, right? And then you have a quadrant of that ball. You target a quadrant at a time. So all your AoEs are hitting one section at a time instead of it being spread out across the entirety of the huge ball in the middle. If you target top right quadrant, top left quadrant, bottom left quadrant, bottom right quadrant, you're mowing through chunks of marches at a time, which is really what we saw in that last mid-fight. I know you weren't able to see it on the screen, and those of you in the community, but you saw 4, 5, 6 marches of the blue team going back simultaneously every 3, 4, 5, 6 seconds. So TR was doing that bunch targeting that you see from some of the high-end teams here to really focus down and win those mid-fights.
Drago's revealing all the secrets here.
Well, hey, if I'm going out with a bang, baby.
Big secrets going down. Technically, I actually was not familiar with a quadrant-based approach for targeting, but that's an interesting idea.
Shrine of War being taken out by VC56 away from TR. So again, this is exactly what they need to do. Trying to narrow this this gap down. It looks like 2,400 point in favor of TR right now. So it has been narrowed a little bit, but TR still holding the win here from a point standpoint, as well as 3,500 points by Avid on the bottom. Obelisk for TR sitting there pretty as well. We do have 4 rallies, 2 from each side, going back and forth. So it's pretty even from a structure game. I don't know if it's going to be
except
enough.
that all 4 altars just flipped red. That's brutal.
That's a thing.
Yeah,
that's the exact opposite of what you want if you're on VC56.
That is really brutal. I mean, if at any moment in time all 4 altars start ticking up points, I'm not saying the game's over, but that's big trouble. You really got to hold on to your altars. And there's like such a weird balance in this game mode of staying offensive, but maintaining just enough defense to get the job done, right?
Everybody could do it, right? Like, like I said, imagine if somebody comes to you and says, explain Ark of Osiris and Osiris League to me. It's like, okay, here you go. You keep all your structures, and you take all your enemy structures, and you get this little token in the middle that spawns every, 10 to 12 minutes. You just do that and you win. Like, no big deal, right? No biggie. We have these teams that have been practicing the best and most efficient ways to do all of those pieces for years now, and we're at the pinnacle of this Ark of Osiris strategy movement here, where you've just got all these different ways to win. We've seen the capture all the Ark strategy at the very beginning while trying to hold your structures as much as possible. We've seen like kind of a mixed bag of at least get 1 or 2 arcs and then really kind of hold your own structures and maybe grab a structure or 2 every now and again. And then we've also seen the exact opposite, like the other end of the spectrum, right? Where we've seen go all out on structures, capture 1 arc to win the battle. Like there's all different ways to do it, but not many people can. Like that's why you see a lot of the same teams win every single season, or the grand finals or the grand prix, is because they just do it the best.
Yeah, I mean, the idea of what you need to do is pretty simple.
Yeah, it's really simple.
But the details are actually pretty complex. And so much of this, even though it maybe looks like an improvisation, is actually like a really scripted plan of what's going to happen.
Yeah, and I see a lot of people trying to say, is 7K make upable in Ark of Osiris and Osiris League with this many minutes left in the match? I would say yes, it is, but to make that happen, you really need to take both altars away from your opponent while maintaining your own, and you need to be flipping all the other structures at least, if you're not going to hold them, to even make this work. It can be done, but is it being done? Probably not. We just saw TR with all 4 altars in their favor, no points ticking in favor of VC56. And while they do have an 80 point per minute benefit, does the blue team, it's not enough. I mean, you need 500 points per minute to really start to tick in your favor to make up for 2 lost arcs in the middle. And I think at this level of the game, it's very, very difficult to make that happen. TR really trying to hold and pull away. Now a 2,000 point game in favor of TR. Now it's starting to go down a little bit more. We're talking to 5,500 point lead for TR with this arc. 2.5 minutes left on the arc, despawning, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen so many turnarounds in Ark of Osiris League
exactly.
that it's absolutely premature to say this match is over. And I see people in the chat that, like, it's GG. But I mean, God, wasn't it like last week, or not last week? It was maybe a month ago. Who was I watching? NNAV and 1V were, battling, and I was like, oh, they got the arc. They're going to score it. It's over now. And then, like, it completely flipped around, and the other team won. I'm just saying, like,
structure game can
at
make
any
some big
point in time,
moves.
Any team could kick it into high gear. The other team can fumble, and the punish is super real. So both teams still need to execute really cleanly. And I do think, however, obviously, with an arc in the pocket and also a little bit of lead in their favor, that TR has more wiggle room here than 556 does. 556 really needs to see TR slip up, and they need to get this next start.
I 100% agree. I think that this is TR's game to lose. Now, I will say, I think that ultimately VC56 is starting to do what they are wanting to do. They are 150 points per minute in the lead right now. It was just over 200 points per minute, but one of the buildings for TR recapturing back. But we see almost every building, every main building here for TR counting down, or at least two of them anyway, counting down for points. So that means that they're not generating anything for anybody. 590 for VC56, 440 for TR. This altar on the bottom lane is the one sole building not generating points for the red team. It'll start in just a little bit. Now VC56 needs to flip some stuff to continue that point disruption. With 3,500 points in the bag coming, and just came actually, 28,300 to 23,800. It's funny what two digits in two different places can mean for somebody. Looking at a 4,500 point lead now. Yeah, about a 4,600 point lead now in favor of TR. So slowly but surely, VC56 is doing a good job of chipping away. But is there enough time? Is there enough time?
They are doing what they need to do, but will it be enough? Is that question.
Yeah.
The Ark was scored, by the way, and there is going to be a solid 5-minute window to run the Ark. Technically, 5 minutes and 15 seconds. I mean, that's more than enough time to score this third Ark. So the third Ark is going to be a super real differentiator. And honestly, like, if 556 kicks the building game in a high gear now, and they score this next Ark, like, they can be looking at the win.
Yeah, they just lost their Sky Altar on the bottom lane, so that's not a good start to that. But,
no, 3 altars in favor of TR is
but I agree
it's not
with you.
where 556 wants to be, and the points per minute reflecting that here. So TR taking advantage of this opportunity to widen the gap a little bit.
I still think there's time to make this an interesting match. 12 minutes left. There's a lot of game to play. VC56, for all their losses in the middle of this match, are no scrubs. I'm actually kind of surprised at how quickly they were steamrolled in the middle by TR these last two fights. I feel like there's one in there that can change the script, can flip the script, and maybe win that mid fight. And if they do, that's a 4,000 point Ark. Now we're talking less than 1,000 points right now differential. Now we get to start bringing in the provisions game conversation. Now we get to start bringing in, now again, we're talking about losing structures, right? Obelisk goes down in favor of TR on the bottom lane too. Although it does look like one March in his double C primary, so it won't go that way. But again, points, right? Points per minute. That's 20 points per minute, in addition to the 150 points per minute that is denied by TR on the bottom lane Sky Altar. And it looks like it actually might start ticking for TR. So that's a double whammy that VC56 cannot afford to have. 5,000 point game right now, 5,600 point game now in favor of TR.
Yeah, this is the really precarious spot of 556's position, which is that, they can't be late to this Ark. They can't. If they're late to this Ark and they get punished for it, they lose. Whereas TR, and if they're a little late, it might not be the end of the world, and they can really pressure the buildings. So there's just so much less wiggle room for 556, given that they are behind. And TR is just taking advantage of this. And honestly, TR, if they wanted, could say, we'll just go buildings. And if they did that well, they could win.
Yeah.
Without taking this Ark, right? Yeah. Like, they actually could just decide, okay, we go buildings. Now, I think that's the less safe play, personally, but they have more than one way to win from this 7,000 point lead that they've got.
Nobody's going to do that, though. Look at the middle. Everybody's coming to the middle. They're like, nah, that's not the way this match is going to be played.
Well, I mean, at first when I loaded in, I saw 3 marches from TR, but then as I scroll down, I mean, it's still only like 7 marches and then a few more. So, I mean, you can see 556 is heavily committed here.
Look from the obelisk areas. It's a lot more dense coming into the middle. Yeah, we got 4 minutes. We got 4 minutes until this next Ark spawns, Chisco. So we have plenty of time for everybody to start, mooning each other from across the way. There's gonna be plenty of assembly time here, and I think just like always, VC56 just letting them assemble. Do you think that's maybe one of the downfalls that they've had this match? I think both times they were here early in mass. Yeah,
I feel like VC56 is maybe just too early to middle. Like, if you don't have a game plan of pressuring your enemy when you get there early, then you see them assembling later than you, then you're just losing opportunity to have pressured other places. Yeah. But not by much,
Well, by default, it's less efficient.
Yeah, And the thing is, if you attack too soon in the middle, you give your enemy the opportunity to get back to the middle before the Ark spawns, which is really bad. So even if you win initially, you lose because the enemy actually had a chance to reset their marches to middle before the Ark spawned. So you don't want to engage too soon.
Yep.
So, I mean, there's such a balance of getting to the middle on time. And I think that TR has played the closer to the Ark spawn timer, right, to their advantage in this matchup.
This has given them a significant points per minute advantage going into the mid fight, and also winning just it doubles up the points, which is why they're up by over 7,000 now, almost 7,500. They've made that gap up that VC56 had started to shorten for themselves. TR flipping the script again and taking altars on both sides, and at least stopping the points being generated, but even. This one might actually hold for a little bit. So, I mean, you're looking at shrines on the top lane being flipped around, both sides getting a flip for the blue side. TR's done exactly what they need to do. They have widened their lead of the two Ark spawns, and then they're looking at possibly winning a third Ark, which, I mean, I think this is exactly what TR is all about, right? We don't ever stop pushing the gas pedal. You always, always, always go for the win. 2 minutes left until this Ark spawns. I think they're going to try and move this blue VC56 ball of players off the temple here in just a little bit.
Yeah, this is pretty exciting. So, we expect to see To the Death. We expect to see probably also War Drums Mystical on the part of TR. And if they played it right, TR is capping at 10 points right now, and so is 556. It was a long 15 minutes. Nobody used any abilities, right?
Mm-hmm.
So theoretically, both of them are at max number of ability points.
Yep.
So that the weighting there in a lot of ways favors TR. Because if you cap it in too soon, the problem is that your opponent actually has more ability points than you, and that alone can sway a mid fight.
It can, yep, especially for this level of gameplay. Now, man, as convincing as TR has been in the middle. Maybe they have a little bit of more wiggle room to make a mistake or something, but I haven't seen them make one yet, especially in the middle fight here when it comes to what they're doing to win these fights. VC56 positioning a little farther forward in front of the temple, putting a little bit of a buffer. I don't think they've seen them do that this match, or at least not to this effect anyway. TR just letting them go ahead and position where they would like to, but VC56 looking like
there it
they're trying
is.
to hold it. Here we go.
There it is. TR initiating. War Drums. Mystical. Mystical for 556
To the death.
To the death. There it is.
Should see Heaven's Grace from VC56, I would imagine.
Yeah, there it
it
is.
is.
Heaven's Grace.
Yep.
I mean, the advantage here is pretty obviously in favor of TR, actually. Because it's 8 ability points used for 556, and that's 10 ability points used for 254. So I think in this encounter, like, you expect to see 254 emerge victorious. They used more ability points.
I mean, again, it's looking very heavily favored to TR. Although I will say, Ark is available and VC56 is grabbing it.
That's
right
a good
now,
grab.
3 second. Yeah,
That's a good grab.
They're going to be pulling back with it very shortly.
Quick hands there. Yeah, they got it.
Yep, they're moving with it.
That was
It's
a good grab.
immediately
I
down.
mean,
But
it's a small thing, but that a bunch of those strung together is really quite significant.
mm-hmm.
The real issue is, how much did TR run around during that mid fight to go chase that carrier versus actually hitting marches? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I don't think it was much. So it was the Ark carrier only had it for maybe 2 seconds.
No, it wasn't very long.
Yeah. And there's still a lot of blue marches going
There's
back.
a
with
lot
sad
of blue in
faces.
here, man.
It looks that way, but then you see all the blue sad faces going away with
I
dead
keep
marches.
zooming out to like try to get a better look. Because I mean, I don't see many sad faces at all.
Oh,
but now,
man.
okay, now I see.
If you
just
zoom, yeah, I was gonna say,
yeah,
it's just-
that's brutal.
it's pouring out.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal.
This is the way all the matches look. This is the way all the fights looked in the middle. It's just stream of blue marches going back with sad faces.
Sheesh.
Trickle of red marches going back with sad faces. 1 or 2 here and there, and then big clumps of them. Like I said, there goes Baba's dead Ethelfled.
Okay. Avid. Q Savan grabs the Ark. Bog down being activated, but it's too late for that. Bogdown's a great ability. I actually think
underused, I think.
Should they have used that in the middle instead of one of the other ones? Hard to say. I mean, Bogdown does a slow effect, which might be better than you think in the middle, but more importantly, it does a defense reduction, which is pretty good. Mm-hmm. I think probably Bogdown is not as good as what they did use, though. Yeah, you see how short that duration is. There it is. TR holding the final arc.
Back.
Now, look, I mean, I won't believe it until it's captured, okay?
Doesn't need to be captured.
But in fairness, yes, you're right. It doesn't actually need to be captured here. With the point lead that they have, TR has got to be feeling pretty good right now about their chances of getting the Osiris City theme for the 3% training speed.
By the way, while they're doing that, they went ahead and captured the Desert Altar on the top lane, did TR. So more points disruption in favor of the TR point total, 590 to 380 in favor of the red team. TR continuing to pressure the top lane while simultaneously defending bottom lane from the second push coming from VC56, the blue team, trying to do everything they can to capture Desert Altar while simultaneously trying to go after the Arc carrier, which is doing a fantastic job of going around the right side of that ruins area, deflecting more and more distance away from the threat coming in from VC56, not only from a total distance standpoint, but walking around that ruin is a lot more of a pain in the butt than it may seem.
Yeah, it's a lot of distance.
Adds another 10 seconds, yeah. And living up to their name, right? TR, again, delivering some therapy to VC56. It might not be what they paid for, but they're definitely getting it. TR doing a great job here. 7,000 point lead still in favor of TR with another 4,000 points in the bag, carried by Avid Q7. Coming in solid here around the bottom lane. Looks like VC56 is starting to try and grab it, though. Just don't know if there's going to be quite enough. Baba TC at a Sun, though, has a full march. XY. So it's going down pretty quickly, but it might have enough to at least drop the Arc carrier. Don't know if that's going to be enough to actually do anything solid, though.
Yeah, the carrier's going to fall, but it's not going to be able to go anywhere. I don't know that it matters if it does or it doesn't, as you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
I mean, that carrier is actually hanging on by a thread.
It's about to go down.
Yeah, around the corner. There it is. Okay, and there's enough guarding this Arc this time here that feels unlikely that this Ark's going to actually go anywhere meaningful.
People are searching for the 8,000 in provisions that VC56 is ready to bring back with less than a minute to go in this matchup. 4,000 points on the line, on the floor, picked up by TR, and it is being run back again, going straight to one of the cities. Again, there's no reason for delay. It looks like VC56 does have the Shrine of War and the Desert Altar for TR, so that's going to help them a little bit, but only 30 seconds left, not really going to generate any points, anything. And it's impossible. It's impossible. 25 seconds left. It's what, a 6,000 point match right now, 5,000 point match, plus 4,000 points on this Arc, which may not even get captured here. In fact, I don't think it will be. What do you think, Chisco?
I don't think it will. Yep. Not enough time to run it.
Yeah. Are they even trying to pick it? I think they're trying to pick it up. Just
Double Dealer did get the Arc. He is moving
slam
it.
Dunk, but yeah.
But with 5 seconds left.
Yeah.
That's all she wrote.
That's it.
Wow. Heck of a matchup.
Very nice.
VC56 versus TR. MVP from VC56, Altori. 180,385 individual score. But the W goes to TR with a cool 40 million units healed there. In fairness, 17 million just about for the Victorious Cats. 6,500 in Arc score. Occupation score also ahead. And provision score actually way behind. Like, Victorious Cats did a ton of provisioning here.
Yeah, they did.
Total kills roughly even. Drago, thoughts overall from this matchup?
Well, I think TR really had the match from the get-go. They did a great job of really owning the middle. They won all 3 mid fights. There wasn't really enough from VC56 to really have a second mid fight for each one of the spawns. So again, TR controlled that very well by not only taking the Arc back in a very protected fashion, but also positioning their reinforcement troops towards the incoming VC56 folks trying to move for that second clash. So TR did a great job positioning troops effectively where they needed to be, but also, again, just in general, winning those mid fights really did save the day for TR. 6,500 points in favor of TR. Really, if you think about it, if they captured either of the first two arcs any sooner, could have been 10,500 points. Maybe they're kicking themselves just for that little thing if they're doing anything at all in a negative fashion, because they did a great job. Look, occupation score, almost 2,000 points in their favor. Losing provisioning score, I don't think anybody really is upset about that in this level of gameplay. It's really all about occupation and arc. That's where you're going to win these matchups. It's a little curious why the kill count was a little low. Usually you're in that 90 to 100 million kill count, in my opinion. But other than that, I think just overall really good clinic on how to win the Osiris League playoff system, winning the mid fights and playing solid structure game. That's what TR did.
I mean, I thought the gameplay was really fun to watch. Big shout out to both teams. Congratulations, TR, on the victory, and VC56 for making it all the way to the quarterfinals. Our teams that are in the semifinals, however, are going to be as follows. It's 10-21. That's Blackjack battling against TR. That happens at 13 UTC next week. And also JST versus 1V. Unfortunately, also at 13 UTC. So we'll see which of these matchups we end up spectating. I assume it will be the JST 1V matchup, the two former champions duking it out. But no doubt people will be casting both of those matches in a bunch of different places.
Yeah. So
big shout out to Drago. This was a lot of fun to cast. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel or checked out our YouTube channels, I'm pretty sure there's links for those in the description or on your screen. Throw a like on the stream if you had a good time. And any other closing thoughts, Drago, before we wrap it up?
I think one last thing for me is I'm looking at the realm of Anubis, and it looks like 60 GT will be facing their doppelganger, 60 MX, in the semifinals at 15 UTC next week. So maybe we'll get a 13 UTC match from Realm of Horus and a 15 UTC match from Realm of Anubis. Sounds like a good one to me.
That's a good strategy. I like it.
Just looking at it without any kind of jaded glasses on. So looking forward to seeing you all next week, hopefully in one way, shape, or form. And certainly congratulations to TR. I think that they did a fantastic job taking on, in my opinion, what I thought was going to be coming in towards the finals there against one of the other two juggernauts and maybe making a name for themselves as a possible winner. But no, TR going on to the semifinals. Looking forward to seeing these matchups next week. Just go and casting with you. Thank you so much.
Cheers. Looking forward to casting with you next week. One last reminder to subscribe if you haven't already. Throw a like on the stream. And until next time, you have fun, smash your enemies. We'll see y'all real soon. Take care, everybody.